Hey, come here. I have the answer to your question. It's in the thumbnail. So the question in the thumbnail is, do you need a track saw? Well, the short answer would be no, you don't need it. Jesus and Joseph wasn't using one 2,040 years ago and making beautiful furniture. Well, I assume they were. I know the Quakers were making great furniture. I know the Amish make great furniture. And what the hell is that other one? Anyway, you don't need a track saw. But with the upcoming income tax season upon us, there's going to be a lot of money, I'm told, or I've heard, anyways. And you might be looking for some reasons to justify picking up a track saw. I have chosen the Makita because it has good features and it was in my budget range. Now, that big German company that invented the track saw is out of my budget range, obviously. So this is kind of a good midpoint. So what I'm going to do today is give you 8 reasons why you might want to own a track saw. And by the end of this video, you might have enough justification to tell your old lady that you need a track saw. Reason number 1 why a track saw is needed in your shop is you can cut triangles with it, or any angle. Cutting an angle on your table saw either requires jigs or you can do it freehand. That never ends up good. Cuts are terrible, and you're likely to chuck one of them 2 sides right into your gut. Bad idea. The track saw, however, you can just take the track, lay it down on your workpiece, and cut from line to line, and it works great. It's quick, it's easy. Reason number 2 are plunge cuts. Okay? You can take this blade, drop it down into a piece of wood, and cut a circle, not a circle, you can cut a square out of a square, and it's safe. Try doing that with a table saw. You can do it with a jigsaw, but the cuts are definitely not going to be as clean. Reason number 3. As you can see here, I've got a 9-foot slab in front of me. Now, cutting the live edge off a slab is a tricky situation when you're using a table saw. And if you're using a circular saw, it's not a very accurate cut either. But when you use a track saw, you can just take the track, lay it from line to line, and just buzz it right off. Another thing you could do with live edge is to use your miter saw, you need a nice clean edge to put up against your fence. I have a fenceless system, but I still have about 12 inches of fence on the saw. And putting this wonky edge on there, I'm not going to get a good cut. But the track saw, you can lay the track across it and get fairly close. Enough that you could be able to get you a rough length so that you can cut the live edge off, and that'll give you a nice edge to put up against your miter fence. So the 4th reason that a track saw is good is unless you're using a dado stack in your table saw all of the time, this very small piece of machinery could actually replace your table saw. So if you have a very small shop, this is very small. The storage is very easy. As a matter of fact, eventually, I plan to build a rack that goes here for this miter saw. That way it's quick and easy to grab, eliminating this 4 foot by 6 foot imprint that I have in the middle of my shop. I'm not going to do that because I like my table saw, but you could eliminate it. You can also, if you get the battery version, take it outside and use it. It's great for plywood. You can put a piece of plywood on some sawhorses outside of your very small shop, buzz up your plywood, bring it back into your shop. It is very versatile. And you can pick one of these up, even the expensive German ones. You could pick one of those up for the cost of a mid-range table saw. My table saw, when I bought it, was like $1,200. A little more expensive now, but even still, if you get the big German track saw, you're still coming in at a fairly nice table saw. So you're kind of balanced out there as far as that goes. So reason number 5, I think I touched on in reason number 4, the price point. These range anywhere from $150, I think, for the cheapest one, all the way up to like $1,600, $1,700. So there is mid-range, like the one I have here. I think this come in around $750, and everything in between. So there is definitely one of these in your budget. And even a cheap one is going to make your life a lot easier than, I don't know, table saw. Because if you do a lot of slabs like I do, they are freaking just amazing for slabs. I can't even express how good they are for slabs. But yeah, plywood, obviously great for plywood. You can't get a better cut than what you get on plywood. So reason number 6 is the brands. Most of all your major brands made from China and Korea, which most brands are, have one of these particular saws. So whatever battery platform you're on, you could probably find a track saw on that platform. Now, I was not particularly on the Makita platform when I bought this one, but this came in a set with a saw, 2 batteries, a charger, and a track. So, I mean, that was in my ballpark. I mean, everything I needed right there in one. And I'm sure there are other kits for the other brands out there that do the same. Just got to pick what brand you like, whether it's red and white, black and yellow, black and orange. I'm not sure if Ryobi has one yet or not. But there's always the blue brand. You could get that. Bosch has one. I mean, they're all over the place. And if your budget does not allow you to drop that massive amount, they're on Amazon, and you can do them on a payment plan. Now, I'm not saying go put yourself in debt buying tools, but if you really need one, you can get them on a payment plan. I did so for this one. Now, I needed this for a project a couple of years ago, and it was going to improve my profitability greatly because I was going to be able to knock out a bunch of plywood faster with this particular tool. So I went ahead and ordered it on the payment plan. And when I got the tips from that project, I went ahead and paid said saw off. But if not, I could have made payments on it for 6-8 weeks. Pretty good deal, really. So I think I mentioned tip number 7. The portability of this saw is amazing. Okay. You can throw this saw in your Honda when you go to visit your slab guy. I did not do that today when I went to pick this slab up. I forgot. And I don't have a Honda either. I have a Malibu. But if I would have remembered to take this with me, I could have knocked off the 4 feet that I needed and fit it into my trunk and would have fit great. You could also take it to installation jobs if you need to trim off a hair here or trim off an angle there. They're great for door bottoms. Right. Take it anywhere, unless you get the corded version. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Seems kind of silly. But, to each their own. Now, I know I've touched on reason number 8, but reason number 8 is the best cuts I've ever seen. You can't get a better cut with a track saw. Cutting plywood with a circular saw is a friggin' nightmare. Number one, getting the edges straight. You have to have some sort of straight edge to follow, and that setup takes a lot of time. Not to mention, unless you swap out the blade constantly, well, you're just going to tear your plywood up. Same thing on a table saw. Pushing an 8-foot piece of plywood through a table saw sucks. Okay, with a track saw, you could throw your plywood on some sawhorses, buzz it down. It's quick, it's easy. And if you got a small shop, you don't have to take that 8-foot piece of plywood into your shop. Get it home, throw it on your sawhorses, knock it down, take it into your shop. It's great. Okay, and the safety. Man, it is so unsafe to run a 4x8 sheet of plywood through a table saw by yourself. Okay? And probably inaccurate as well, because you got to keep it up against the fence. You got to push it. It's wide, long, sucks. So, this, easy, fast, clean, safe. So, those are the best reasons to buy one. But don't think it's all glitters and gold. Okay, there are some downfalls to a track saw. Even the biggest version of the German brand only goes to 2 3/4, I believe. Okay, the Makita does not go that deep. I think it might be 2.5, maybe 2 1/4. I'm not 100% sure. The next downfall are dados. Okay, if you run a dado stack in your table saw to do tenons or dados or rabbits, you're not going to be able to get rid of your table saw. You're going to have to keep it, because doing those kind of cuts with this are not impossible, but they're going to be time consuming. Very time consuming. And the last of the downfalls is they're not right-handed. They're left-handed. Okay, it would be nice if they could have at least put the dust chute on the other side. Every time I use this, because I don't have dust collection, I blow dust all over me. You've seen it in past videos. If you've watched my videos, if you were subscribed, you would have seen it. But anyways, a right-handed version would be beautiful, because I'm right-handed. Left-handed, no good. But that, to me, are the only downfalls, really. Everything else is great. So, I don't know if I've tipped the scale for you to run out and buy one of these. But if you want something in your shop that is small, fast, clean, and safe, this is a much better bet than the table saw. They're cheaper than a nice table saw. They're safer. Man, I can't get over the safety on these. They have locks that lock them into the rail. You can get clamps to hold your rail down to your pieces. You can get super long clamps. You can get little short clamps. They make so many attachments for these things. You can get 90-degree. You can get drop down stuff. I mean, this one thing with all the accessories that come with them that you could buy may replace every saw in your shop. Another thing that I almost forgot to mention, we'll give this a bonus reason to buy one. Okay, I have a 6-inch joiner. Okay, long bed joiner, because I have all of these long boards and I have long slabs. This, I haven't tried it yet, but I do believe that you could get a pretty good jointed edge with a track saw. No more jigs on your table saw that aren't long enough. No more, I don't even know how y'all joint stuff without a joiner. I used to do it. I did it on the router. I did it on the table saw. All that stuff sucked. But you could definitely joint some boards with a good blade on a track saw. I do believe you would have great success with that. So this one tool could replace your miter saw with the correct attachments. It could replace your table saw, other than dados, and it could replace a joiner. I'm pretty sure of it. That's a lot of shop space. So I hope you have found information in this video, and maybe you'll be able to justify a nice track saw. Well, that is all I have for y'all today. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this slab up for a project, and y'all have to wait till the next video to see that. So hit that like, subscribe button, see what I do with this slab. That's all I got for you today. So, see y'all later.